29-12. 17 po ang abante ng Alaska Aces kontra dito sa Barangay Ginebra, San Miguel. As you join us back live inside the smart Araneta Coliseum. Sanchir held down, whistled for a traveling violation. Mag-umargin po kasama natin si Dominic Uy at si Miss Sel Guevara.
Another turnover para dito sa Barangay Ginebra. They have 10 total turnovers so far. 9 coming in that first quarter. Ito namang Alaska scoring 13 points off those 9 turnovers.
Alaska really showcasing their depth and their chemistry in this first half. Kanina pa nga nakaupo yung kanilang import na naka-score na ng 11 puntos. But he has to sit a bit more because of 2 personal fouls whistled against him already. Kung ganyan naman ang lamang nila, no reason to bring him back. Kung ikaw si Coach Alex Compton.
Hindi ka magmamadali na ibalik. And you know, with that whole philosophy of theirs na gusto nilang i-develop yung kanilang mga locals, magagawa niya pa rin. At kung titignan mo naman yung health ng locals ni Coach Alex Compton, they are basically 100% healthy.
Elterbrand is joined by Brondial, Tenorio, Sanchir, and Marcelo as Abueva gets away. It's going to be a brand new biggest lead of the game.
It's just so easy for the Alaska Aces coming off that stop. Tapos, alam mo yung pasang yun, not too many coaches will like that outlet pass, but Banchero able to give it to Calvin Abueva, and Abueva just taking 2 steps and a layup.
Sanchir fouled by Manuel. Manuel and Abueva are joined here. Dondon Ontiveros is whistled for the foul yun. Si Ontiveros, Azul, and Banchero ang kanilang 5.
No, there's always a lot more pressure pagdating dun sa mga imports to be able to score, especially when you're down this big. So if you notice, Barangay Ginebra talagang pinupuntahan itong si Sanchir.
Balikan ulit natin si Miss Sel Guevara.
Aggressiveness ang hinihingi ni Coach Frankie Lim sa kanyang mga players, and he said straight up na masyado silang tensionado that they should just focus on execution. And now let's see if this relieves pressure off the Gin Kings. Magu?
Thank you, Miss Sel. Alaska though gets another crack at the basket. At si Vic Manuel, hindi na sinayang yung pagkakataon na yun.
Basically, ang hinihingi ni Coach Frankie Lim, kailangan maging agresibo ka pero hindi ka pwede mag-gigil.
Sanchir misses on that acrobatic attempt. Elterbrand is held. Sino kalaban niya? Si Azul o si Abueva? As Dondon Ontiveros is motioning to Coach Alex Compton na palitan muna siya. And it is going to be the captain of the Aces coming into the game for the first time. Lean na lean ngayon si Tony De La Cruz.
Parang yan na talaga ang uso ngayon. Sana makasabay din tayo sa ganyan.
Akala ko ba dapat yung puso ngayon? Doon pwede. 33-14. It is Alaska controlling this first half. Abueva though turns it back over. Ginebra fans letting Abueva hear how they feel about him.
Yun ang pinunta ng mga fans ng Barangay Ginebra. Aside from cheering for their team, it's booing the opposing team.
Si Calvin Abueva, kapipirma lang ng 3 taon na extension para dito sa Alaska Aces, and he has really been proving his worth para sa kanyang organization.
Ay, pag may ganyang player ka, ayaw mo nang bitawan. Ipirma mo na agad kahit di pa nag-i-expire.
Banchero to Abueva, pull-up jumper. Calvin delivers.
Calvin Abueva now with 7 points. And just going back to Calvin Abueva, especially ever since na si Coach Alex Compton yung humawak dito sa Barangay Ginebra, parang nagkakaintindihan sila kung ano yung kinakailangan. They have that right mix.
Finally, Rodney Brondial breaks the prolonged silence para sa Barangay Ginebra.
Barangay Ginebra bleeding for their points. You know, you have to just give credit sa pinibigay depensa ng Alaska kasi nagsisimula siya right off that inbound, but all the way up to the time na nandun sa ilalim, sa loob o nasa labas man yung bola para sa opensiba ng Barangay Ginebra, Alaska is just always in front of you.
Eric Meng joining the 5 para sa Alaska. Pagpapahingayin muna itong si Abueva. Sanchir ang magtatawid ng bola. Fouled by De La Cruz on that sideline.
Kita mo kahit magbabalang ng bola, napakahirap.
Coach Frank Lim could wait no longer. He is redeploying his international import in Orlando Johnson.
So pagsasabay na dito.
Sabay na si Sanchir Tungalag and si Orlando Johnson.
Makikita mo talaga naghahanap ng kombinasyon si Coach Frankie na magandang ikot ng bola. Hindi lang magandang ikot ng bola pero pati yung spacing. Because so far, yung spacing ng Barangay Ginebra has not been spot on.
Tenorio down the gut of the defense. Door shot on him. He creates a way. Marcelo bounced it off the glass, picked up by Meng. Panchero with controlled aggression over to Major Payne. Eric Meng gets the bounce.
They just know where everybody is supposed to be. Eric Menk doing such a good trail job. And Chris Banchero, alam niya may padating. Alam niya may kakat, rewarding his big man.
Balik sa blackjack ang abante ng mga alas. Quick passing on the part of Ginebra to get it across.
And that's when you can see that that's something Barangay Ginebra actually practiced. Yung ganong press break. Dahil alam mo kung nasan yung mga tao, alam mo kung nasan yung kakampi mo, ilang beses mong ginawa sa ensayo yan, at anong nakakuha niya? Nakakuha sila ng layup, nakakuha sila ng foul.
Eh, alam mo namang gagamitin talaga sa ng Alaska yan. Umabot sila doon sa Philippine Cup hanggang sa finals. Hanggang sa Game 7 because of that defense.
Tsaka no let up itong Alaska.
Yeah.
Hindi naman sila namimili ng kalaban kung anong gagawin nilang depensa. You know, maybe a little bit of an adjustment, but the full court press is 90% there.
20 pa rin ang abante ng mga alas. As Menk is fouled by Brondial. How much pressure is on these two young guns? Brondial and Marcelo right now, though.
Well, definitely there is pressure for them to perform, but more than anything, kailangan makakuha sila ng rebound, be able to set good screens, and not get into foul trouble. Because kapag mawala yung dalawang yan, sino pa huhugutin mo from the bench na malaki na makakamatch up?
Right on cue, Dom. Dave Marcelo picks up his third personal foul. Papalitan muna siya dito ni Dorian Peña.
Kumbaga, yung puntos, bonus na lang yun. Pero yung depensa, yung rebound, inaasahan sa'yo yun.
Azul on the attack. Tatlo sumagupa. They get it over to Meng. Outside jumper is good.
Well-oiled machine itong Alaska Aces.
Naglalabas ng galit dito sa ating Govs Cup after getting swept in the quarterfinal round of the Commissioner's Cup.
You know, arguably, you could say that they were tired coming from the All-Filipino Cup. But definitely, they got their rest. They were able to heal those injuries. And now working again like a well-oiled machine.
Sanchir buries a three. Ating sa atin yan ang PLDT on Evolution. Turns your ordinary TV into an internet TV.
8 puntos na para kay Sanchir Tungalag.
Tumalag breathing some life into the fight of Barangay Ginebra. Travis, though, over at the other end, feeds De La Cruz. Had to adjust in midair. Ball will remain with Alaska. Take another look at that booming triple mula kay Tungalag. Nalibre si Azul. Di naman mabawi. Brondial para sa board. Tenorio has Sanchir on the right. Peña down the middle. They go to Johnson. Ang bilis talaga ng depensa ng Alaska. Johnson, though, doesn't care. Barangay Ginebra goes on back-to-back threes. Hatid pa rin sa atin ng PLDT on Evolution. Turns your ordinary TV into an internet TV.
The big difference now for Barangay Ginebra, the spacing. You know, they're letting or giving Alaska a harder time, tougher time, trying to cover their men.
Oh, but over at the other end, Romeo Travis will try to get a traditional three-point play.
Kita mo yung adjustment ng Alaska. Si Romeo Travis now has the advantage down low against Rodney Brondial. Binibigyan nila ng bola sa poste, be able to make that move.
Astig move na yan. Atid sa atin ng Jack and Jill Iceman Candy. Ilabas ang tapa. (42-23). The Alaska Aces manhandling the Barangay Ginebra San Miguel here in this first half. Johnson over to Tungalag. He elects to drive closer, trying to beat Brondial. Azul will push it. Casio back to RJ. JV na naman. Trying to zigzag his way into the paint. RJ misses. Dorian para sa board. Tenorio gets it over to Johnson. Up, and out. Pero may 2 free throws na parating.
We talk about fouls. We talked about the pressure on the big men for Barangay Ginebra in today's ball game. Marcelo, Baracael, and Brondial, all of them with 3 personal fouls.
Sel, ano balita?
Orlando Johnson is a versatile player kaya gusto siya ng Ginebra management pero he admits that he's more used to playing the point than being an off guard. So this is a big adjustment for him kaya medyo rattled siya sa umpisa ng larong ito. Balik sa inyo, Magu.
Parang ikaw, ano?
Alin?
Kahit big man yung papel mo nung araw, mas gusto mo pa rin tira ng tira.
Siyempre. Basta open, tira.
Hindi ka masyado masasaktan pag pwedeng outside
Ikaw
siya.
naman, bibihira na nga ako tumira.
Casio over to Meng. Nakita si Azul. Didn't want to pull the trigger. Kagiwa bother him. Mark the Spark takes it away.
And you know, talking about that report itself, pati import mo, both of your guys are basically guards. You know, in a guard-heavy rotation or lineup already for Barangay Ginebra. Tapos na-injure pa yung dalawang malaki mo.
It was idea if the Twin Towers were healthy.
Correct.
As Eric Meng lights it up from deep. Pwede naman daw sentro tumbres eh. Ikaw talaga.
7 points for Eric Meng, all coming in the second quarter. Eh, ako din naman ganun dati.
Mas pinapaupo ka na ng coach mo. Dito ka nga. Upo ka
Ang
dito.
difference lang, pasok yung kay Eric.
Kaya okay lang. Stay siya. Ikaw, back to barracks.
Oo.
Balik sa
Gumapensa ka na.
Balik sa 21 tuloy ang abante ng Alaska. Largest lead of the game was 22. Johnson inside, finishes with a left.
You know, talking
Oh,
about...
Johnson with a steal. Back-to-back hits by Orlando.
Well, this is what they need. They need their imports to be able to breathe some life. Not just on offense, but even yung intensity dun sa kanilang depensa.
Dahil nga, pulang-pulang na yung kanilang front line. Johnson already sliding to the 4 with Peña playing the center position. Import sa import to. Romeo Travis putting on the moves. Kagiwa boards it. Pitches it over to Tenorio. LA back to the Spark. Pupunta sana kay Mercado. Ball is batted out of bounds by Azul. Barangay Ginebra though in fight back mode. Kagiwa had to work to catch that pass. Tenorio di discarte. Back to Kagiwa. They drop it off to Johnson. He tries to carve out some space. What a power move by Orlando.
Big difference now for Barangay Ginebra, the spacing on their offense, allowing that one-on-one ability of their players to be able to maximize it.
15 of the 30 points ng Barangay Ginebra courtesy of Orlando Johnson. De La Rosa is being bothered by Mercado. Casio has 7 seconds to try and generate a shot. JV's in trouble. They go to Travis. Turnaround jumper. Travis delivers.
Shot clock winding down, not panicking. Ito si Travis being able to know what the clock situation is. Getting that shot, facing up, just knocking down that jumper.
16 points in the game para dito kay Romeo. Kagiwa for 3. Punches it through.
A lot quicker offense now for Barangay Ginebra. You know, off the air, I was talking to you about the 4 guys on the floor. These guys, except Dorian Peña, like to dribble that basketball. So what do? You try to maximize that.
Kagiwa once again. Nabitin lang sa pagkakataon na yun, but it is tracked down by LA Tenorio. Johnson from deep. Bang!
13 points now for the Barangay Ginebra import. Orlando Johnson really giving a big lift para dito sa Barangay Ginebra.
Casio to toss. Puta tayo nabot! Shot clock is at 10. Baguio. No. Mercado with a running start. The Soul Train looking for Tenorio. Nakita si Johnson for the finger roll.
4 guys on the floor, very good dribblers. What are they doing? They're pushing that basketball, trying to maximize yung one-on-one ability.
Tumataguntong na naman ang Big Dome. The Soul Train. Ninintis lang yun. 2.5 remaining in the second. Baguio is fouled by Tenorio. And after the fact that si Baguio ran into Dorian Peña, and it was a major collision, mukhang inabot sa puso si Dorian.
Technical foul on Cyrus Baguio for 7 over.
Yeah. So Dorian Peña was just trying to make sure na hindi na makaporma si Baguio.
Well, obviously, Cyrus Baguio did not like the contact na binigay sa kanya ni Dorian Peña. But Cyrus Baguio getting that call for second motion.
LA Tenorio makes him pay by drilling that technical free throw. 8 na lang ang abante ng mga Alas. Pero nasa kanilang possession. De La Rosa over to Travis. How do the Aces recover? They go to Baguio, down the baseline. Baguio for the reverse!
Great spacing once again by the Alaska Aces, trying to get that momentum na sige, nakakatakbo kayo, Barangay Ginebra. Space it out, get the quickness, make Mark Kagiwa play defense all the way from outside.
Just over 2 minutes remaining sa ating first half. Johnson gets it over to Peña. Kagiwa lurking on the baseline. The ball is with Mercado. Kagiwa, hinahanap ito si Johnson. Titira mula sa malayo. Bitin ang resulta. Ball will go to Alaska.
Spacing once again for Barangay Ginebra a lot better. Makita mo yung Mark Kagiwa, alam niya yung papasahan niya eh.
Yun talaga yung kulang na kulang ng first quarter.
Definitely. Parang nagkakagulo pa sila dun sa offensiva nila. That's why Coach Franklin was telling them, sige lang, takbuhin nyo lang yung opensa, makakakuha din tayo ng mga tira natin.
Baguio down the middle, drops it off. Romeo Travis delivers the 2 points, but what a pass issued by Skyros Baguio.
Kaya naman napakahirap talunin nitong Alaska Aces. Not just tough on defense, but look at them on offense, sharing that basketball. The last minute, he was able to make 3 guys basically commit to himself and then dishing it off, getting the 2 points kay Romeo Travis and the foul.
At yun yung kanina mo pang binabate. Ni hindi tumingin si Baguio, ni hindi sila nagkakindatan doon ni Travis. Alam lang niya na merong tao doon.
Well, that's what happens kapag nag-iensayo kayo. Alam mo yung offensive set mo, alam mo kung saan manggagaling yung release pass, alam mo kung saan dapat may tao. That's why, paminsan sa ibang laro, makikita mo parang pinasa doon sa isang banda. Nakala mo, uy, wala namang tao eh, but there's supposed to be a person there.
Wala nang isang kalahati natitira sa ating second quarter. The Alaska Aces looking like they have recovered from that onslaught of Ginebra. But Kagiwa wants to continue. Matalas lang. Peña is fouled on the way up. And Dorian will shoot to the line for 2 shots.
This is how key Dorian Peña is to Barangay Ginebra, whether the Twin Towers are there or not. Kinakailangan makakuha siya ng rebound, offensive rebounds to be exact, and assert himself inside in those 4 or 5 minutes na gagamitin siya.
Peña takes care of that first free throw. Ang papatuloy ng ating PLDT Home Devolution PBA Governors Cup. Naku! Something you don't see every day on this level. Airball. (52-40). The Alaska Aces looking to add to this dozen-point lead. Casio against Tenorio. Toss looks over at De La Rosa, but they go to the other side with Baguio. Skyros has made things happen the last couple of sequences. This time they go directly to Travis. Now Romeo is hot. He's got 21 points.
Gusto niya pansagot dito kay Orlando Johnson. Kasi Orlando Johnson yung bumuhay sa Barangay Ginebra. Sinasabi ni Romeo Travis, kaya ko din yan, buhatin ang Alaska Aces, trying to extend the lead once again of the Aces in this quarter.
Benji Santiago and Jolly Escobar with a call of tonight's action. Si Horny Charlie ba yun? Katabi nila? As Orlando Johnson lights it up once again.
Orlando Johnson definitely got his rhythm here in the second quarter. 18 points in the second quarter alone.
De La Rosa almost lost it. Half a minute remaining in the second quarter. Casio has Tenorio all over him. They go to Travis on the roll. Step back jumper. Romeo could not deliver. Ball bouncing back over. Papunta kay Baguio. Play broken up by Kagiwa. Tenorio, Johnson, and Kagiwa on the run. Mark delivers the layup.
It's just always such a pretty sight to see Kagiwa getting and stepping in that passing lane, getting that steal, leading the fast break ng Barangay Ginebra.
Kabanas na siya, mga bande ng Alaska. Casio wants a double-digit spread heading into the break. Couldn't get it on that, Jay. And that'll do it para sa ating first half.
In the first quarter, Barangay Ginebra struggling, pero nagising na itong Barangay Ginebra in that second quarter, led by their import, Orlando Johnson. But even the guys like Mark Kagiwa playing tougher defense, narrowing down the lead now to just 9 points. Alaska 54, Barangay Ginebra 45.